Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I have something very fun and exciting to share. I hope you have already seen it, but if not, Project Justice League, the fan-made motion comic, has been released on the Four Nerds Network YouTube channel. But of course, the fandom has been sharing it a lot, but that is where you can find it to actually watch it. So, again, this is a fan-made motion comic by everyone involved with the Four Nerds. If you're probably familiar with them if you follow my channel, and they were gracious enough to ask me also to participate and be involved. So I was very humbled and very nervous to voice Lois, but it was so fun to be a part of this and just awesome. And of course, the main goal and the main purpose of this, besides raising, some awareness for what could have been at one point a continuation of Zack Snyder's Justice League, is of course AFSP. There is a fundraiser going on. It's super just awesome to see the fans come together again to support AFSP. And currently, right now, it is almost at $1,300 as it at the time of making this video. Which is just so cool. So make sure you check out. I'm going to put the link in the description for this video so that way you can go ahead and watch it. It's absolutely amazing. The artwork, I mean, Wonder Woman, I think, is probably one of my favorite illustrated characters in the motion comic. Everything looks amazing. Like, again, this was from the Four Nerds. So, Nicotina from the Nicotina Show, Andre Nicotina, Ryan from Zeverfet, Anthony from ACS Universe, Dawson from Nerdy Many Ways, and a bunch of other people. Ill Life did the sound and the mixing. There's just so many people. Geraldo Cortez did the narration, which was one of my favorite parts of this motion comic. The narration is so great. Voice acting was so good. I mean, Lex's voice was extremely convincing. Like, it was so spot on for Jesse Eisenberg's version of Lex. It's awesome. So much hard work was put into this, and I'm just so happy for everyone involved. The reception has been amazing. It trended on Twitter yesterday. At some point, there's been a lot of support by media outlets that, talk about comic book movies and, other YouTube channels, ping pong clips. Like, it's just so awesome to be a part of this fandom and see people, come together to continue to support it. And it's so cool. Again, this motion comic was made, this fan-made motion comic was made based on the storyboards that were released a while back that would have shown at one point what Justice League 2 and 3 would have been moving forward, Zack Snyder's Justice League. But of course, when things changed, there was stuff that would have remained consistent overall as far as like the general story, but details were changed over time. And when, Zack Snyder's Justice League became what it became, what we saw it as, obviously the follow-up to that, would have been different now because, scripts and stories and all that change over time. And Zack has mentioned that there are storyboards that we have not seen and will not see. So we don't know exactly what has changed. I think some of the main stuff, like having to do with Lois and Clark and Bruce and that whole situation, if you know what I'm talking about, but you got to watch it if you're not 100% sure or if you've forgotten. Some things have changed. But this is just to kind of show at one point what could have been, or some of the things that still could be if the Snyderverse continues. So I want to show like the whole thing. It's pretty good. It's a nice little, it's a good little story. It's 20 minutes. So there will be a part 2 coming. Make sure you watch till the end to see kind of like a, mysterious Easter egg, I guess you would call it, of part 2 that will be coming out later on in the summer. Don't have an exact release date yet, but make sure you watch till the end. And there's also some, cool, we see a bunch of different villains in here that we would have seen in part 2 of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I think I'm definitely going to have to show one of my favorite parts in part 3. Seeing Superman under the influence of Darkseid, one of my favorite parts visually. I think part 3 was my favorite part out of the whole story. And I mean, also always seeing, like Nightmare stuff is really cool, because if you're a fan of, all of this stuff, then you're probably a fan of the Nightmare world that Zack Snyder introduced. Way back, even we got a little taste of it sort of in Man of Steel, and then of course a lot more in BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So it's always fun to see that stuff too. And there's a little taste of that. But there, again, like I said, there will be a part 2 coming out later on in the summer, hopefully. Everyone behind the scenes has been working so hard. I don't even know what it takes to start something like this. So like I said, just for me to have a small little voice part was really cool. And I just applaud everybody for putting in so much hard work to do this. And just because it's something that's like animated, that does not mean that there's not a ton of hard work and detail and hours put into this. And this is not something that anyone's getting paid for. So it's just really cool to see. There will be other characters that we have not seen, that we didn't see yet in part 1, that will be in part 2. So again, the link is going to be in the description. Thank you to everyone who has been a big supporter of this. And of course, make sure you share it. And don't forget about the AFSP fundraiser. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to like and or subscribe. We'll see you next time.